On this edition of Shelby This Week, an exclusive with Candace Miller. The Public Works Commissioner came to our studios to update Shelby Township residents on the Fraser sinkhole. Find out how it affects you and what the next steps being taken are next. And Hope Not Handcuffs. It's a police program going on throughout the state, but we'll tell you how Shelby police are involved with it as well. Charlie?
Shelby Township's first homicide in 7 years. What happened and who's behind bars? Coming up.
And the silent killer. Find out how you can protect yourself from a colorless, odorless gas with just a simple kit. We'll tell you where to find those kits as well. All of these stories plus much more right now. A Shelby Township woman is accused of killing her own mother, the murder making history as the first homicide in Shelby Township in years. Our Charlie Cadotto takes us to the department as police piece together the evidence.
Residents of this quiet condo complex near 25 Mile and DeQuinder were shocked to see police detectives combing through this home along Marissa Way. Here, police say 48-year-old Julie Flynn is accused of stabbing her mother multiple times in the neck, then leaving her there to bleed to death. Her mother, 80 years old.
It was very evident to our investigators on the scene that there was foul play and that she was a prime suspect.
Flynn is charged with first-degree homicide and is being lodged at the Macomb County Jail without bond. Police tell us the scene broke a record. This was the township's first homicide in more than 7 years.
Most of our officers, our evidence technicians, and our detectives, this was their first time on a homicide scene.
Police tell us this isn't the first time they were called to this home, but there were never any signs that something like this could happen.
You know, she called the police at a certain point on Sunday. We got out to the house. She said somebody was injured. We got out to the house. She wouldn't answer the door. Well, we had eyeball on her. We saw her moving around in the house, looking at her. We talked to the neighbors. We didn't know that an old person lived in the house. The neighbors said she lives there alone.
Chief Robert Chalide says domestic violence situations happen often, but something like this is particularly troubling. The prosecutor's office telling us Flynn allegedly tried to clean up bloodstains and cover up the crime, but evidence techs finding more than enough to proceed with murder charges.
This particular homicide obviously was a domestic situation. You can talk to any scholar at all, psychologist, law enforcement official. Can't prevent domestic violence homicides.
We're told Flynn would not talk to police about the incident. Right now, the motive is unclear.
I can't take it anymore. I'm to my breaking point. If you get to the point where you think you're even near a breaking point with a loved one, get out of the home, period.
The township's last homicide investigations were back in 2010 and 2002. Certainly for a community like this, history, they hope, won't repeat itself. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadotto.
Flynn is due back in court later this month. We'll continue to track this story and bring you court updates on later editions of Shelby This Week. 2 minors are in the hospital from a serious car crash that happened over the weekend. On Sunday, Shelby police were called to the one-car crash on Mound Road, north of 25 Mile Road. 2 16-year-old girls were in the car. One of them had been ejected from the vehicle, suffering serious injuries. The road was closed for about 3 hours for the investigation. Both the occupants of the car were minors, and alcohol is not expected to be a factor. No names are being released at this time due to the ongoing investigation. A cause of the crash has not been determined yet. Governor Snyder has opened the Disaster and Emergency Contingency Fund to provide financial assistance to those affected by the Fraser sinkhole. And because Shelby Township is one of the communities affected when it comes to conserving water, Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller came to our Shelby TV studios to update us on what's going on. For Shelby Township, our water isn't directly affected with the color, taste, and quality.
If you can just work with us a little bit here, everybody can do just their part. It will negate the necessity for us to discharge raw sewage into the Clinton River, which obviously none of us want to be doing that. That's an environmental catastrophe, and it doesn't have to happen if you don't, run your water all the time while you're brushing your teeth, or maybe you don't have to flush your toilet every time. Don't run your wash machine until you have a full load. Don't run your dishwasher until you have a full load. Don't turn the faucet on in your kitchen and walk away while you're cooking. Just try to think about conserving restricting your water usage.
Commissioner Miller also talked about what they're doing to ensure this doesn't happen again. And when it comes to that fund issued by Governor Snyder, it will allow local governments to apply for assistance grants up to $100,000 to ensure the health and safety of the citizens affected.
How is it going to be paid for? The ratepayers in the mid of the 11 communities, of which Shelby Township is a part of it, really are on the hook for this. So we are looking at every avenue that we possibly can for financial assistance, both at the state level, at the federal level. We're looking everywhere that we can to mitigate the financial impact on our residents here.
You can watch a series of those PSAs on Shelby TV with Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller and our Supervisor Rick Stathakis for more information and updates on the sinkhole. The new Macomb County Clerk continues to make headlines after a circuit court judge sent her a firmly worded letter. Clerk Karen Spranger hesitated to approve 4 promotions that would allow the hiring of 4 entry-level positions. This caused a backlog of more than 1,000 electronic filings of cases. Chief Judge James Burnett Jr. says the cooperation of the clerk is needed in order to run the court. So if she hadn't moved forward with the hirings, he would have taken, quote, appropriate measures. Spranger still doesn't have access to county computers after county officials say she allowed 2 non-employees access to the network system and confidential information. County officials say her ban will continue until she agrees to abide by IT policies. For someone battling drug or alcohol addiction, turning themselves into police isn't something they would want to do. But addicts who want to get the treatment they need can do this now without the fear of going to jail, thanks to a new program called Hope Not Handcuffs. Macomb County was the first to implement the program, and our Nick Buckler shows how Shelby Township is incorporating it into their force as well. Nick?
A new addiction treatment program is being launched in Macomb County. Hope Not Handcuffs.
It was approached to the police department as an alternative to incarceration for opiate addicts, and we know that the opiate problem in Southeast Michigan is at an epidemic proportion. So I think we were all on board with we have to try something different.
This gives people struggling with addiction the opportunity to walk into any police station and receive treatment without the fear of jail time.
We are the first county in the nation to participate in a program like this countywide. There have been other programs similar, but not countywide, where all of the police departments and the prosecutor's office were on board.
The program officially launched in Macomb County last week and is off to a fast start. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Smoking is the leading cause of lung cancer, but the second leading cause is something anyone can get. And the Macomb County Health Department is offering a kit to protect yourselves. Radon is a colorless, odorless radioactive gas. It occurs naturally in the soil and rock and can move upward and enter buildings through cracks and openings in the foundation of the floors and walls.
Anybody can be exposed to radon. And as I said, it's colorless, it's odorless. Any one of us can be exposed to it. We have had houses where everybody was fine except 1 or 2, because it only has to do with the foundation of the house. If there are any cracks in the foundation, radon can enter the home. Radon is heavier than air. It accumulates at the bottom level, so people can be exposed to it without even knowing.
Right now, testing for radon is the perfect time since it's winter and all your windows and doors remain closed. Having your home tested with these kits you see here is the only effective way to determine where you and your family are at risk of radon. If you do get one of these kits, place it in your finished basement or in your family room sitting on the lowest level. And if you'd like to get one of these kits, the health department is giving them away for free. For more information, head to our Shelby TV Facebook page or call the health department at this number below, 586-469-5236. The 41A District Court is receiving high marks from the public regarding their experience with the building and its staff. Using a survey administered in the court statewide, the 41A District Court asked users questions about whether it was accessible, timely, fair, and if they were treated with courtesy and respect by the judge and the court staff. 96% of users said they were treated with respect. 85% said the way that the judge handled their case was fair. And 86% said they were able to get their business done in a reasonable amount of time. The court staff says they use this information to better serve the community. And this is now the 4th year in a row the court has received good grades. Next on Shelby this week, 2 local students honored for their hard work in school. And why our township is receiving a special award at the Macomb Career Technical Education Administrators Association Award. And a warning you should know about, a common drug millions use in the U.S. that doctors are now telling people to cut back on. Next.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
More than 500 pieces of art are now on display thanks to hundreds of local young artists.
Honestly, really amazing, especially since I'm a senior and I've never done a competition before, so it's pretty insane that I got a really high award.
Student artwork from 48 schools in Macomb, Huron, Lapeer, Sanilac, and St. Clair counties are featured at the Lorenzo Cultural Center at the annual Scholastic Art Awards exhibit. The competition is part of the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards scholarship program that honors creative achievements by students nationwide. More than 2,600 pieces of art were submitted this year alone. Included in the exhibit will be the work of students who also won the coveted Gold Key Award and Art Portfolio winners, all of which will advance to the national competition in New York next month.
So I wanted to do a piece that kind of dealt with fear, since so many people are afraid of spiders. And so I wanted a piece that when people looked at it, they would kind of be taken aback. And when the photo was all done and I was showing people, right away they were like, was that a real spider? Did you actually put it on your face? Are you crazy? And so I'm really proud with how it turned out.
And the students you heard from, Kaylee and Jessica, both won the American Vision Awards, presented to students who achieve Best in Show in their categories. Congratulations to all of the students honored. 2 Utica Community School students were honored at the Macomb Career Technical Education Administrators Association Awards. More than 20 school districts in the area chose 2 students to represent them. Tyler Perkins, a senior at Stevenson, was awarded for his success in marketing and engineering courses. And Tyler Newton of Utica High was honored for his involvement in marketing classes. Avery Richardson and Lisa Suda from Shelby Township's Human Resources Department were also honored at the event for their placement of students throughout the township departments for internships and jobs. Fitness centers are popping up all over the place, and it can be daunting trying to figure out which one is best for you and your body. But what if you could get a personal training session that would actually show you what's best for your body while looking inside of it? Top Gun Fitness is a facility that uses all of the latest fitness techniques while using the latest technology.
The reason why we wanted to go ahead and we wanted to start Top Gun was simply because of the fact that we wanted to do something slightly different than what everyone else was doing. We wanted to go ahead and we wanted to take a little bit different of an approach, and we wanted to do that with incorporating the use of scientific technology to train our athletes and our clients.
Eric Evans may have a day job as a Harrison Township firefighter, but when he's not putting out fires, you'll see him running Top Gun Fitness in Shelby Township. He and his wife started the facility because his passion is an extreme weight loss transformation.
I think being able to take an individual that was, 450 pounds and in 1 year, 365 days, completely whittle them down to, a very good healthy weight of, 200 pounds, 180 pounds, and actually be able to make an impact and change that individual's life and longevity of that individual's life, there's no more rewarding.
But Top Gun isn't your average fitness facility. They use EMG technology as a way to monitor key muscle groups. This is done through a suit with sensors all over the body.
Our training techniques that we use here at Top Gun Fitness Facility are, it's not nothing that's new or something that we invented, but a lot of the training techniques that we use is something called time under tension. One of the things like you guys saw today is we're using the use of wireless electromyography technology, EMG technology. And once again, what that does is it actually measures the electrical impulses that are being delivered to the muscle fibers upon contractility.
As you can see with one of their clients, Mark, they're able to see which muscles are being used and even overexerted.
The cool thing about that technology is it goes ahead and, like I said, it gives us a window to look inside the body. Us as personal trainers, we can preach form all we want, and we have to. That's very important. But also at the same token, it's very important for us to be able to see what's going on inside the body. And with the technology that we have here at Top Gun, we're able to do that.
And they aren't stopping when their clients walk out the door.
What we're doing here is we're actually doing small internal case studies with athletes in all different types of sports: hockey, baseball, football, basketball, cheerleading, gymnastics, a whole range of sports that we've actually dipped into.
Top Gun is training athletes with the technology, both professional and amateur.
Take a baseball player and we're putting that individual at bat. And what we're doing is we're looking to see what type of muscle fibers are firing and at what capacity. And we're looking at multiple subjects, and what we're trying to do is we're looking for patterns. And once we see that, for instance, we have massive activation in this particular muscle group through multiple subjects, we're kind of focusing in on that, and we're going ahead and we're developing a strength and conditioning program specifically tailored to that athlete.
But don't be fooled by their logo. Anyone can train there. You don't need to be an athlete to walk in.
Anybody here can come in, any age can come in, and they're going to be able to get a great workout, a great training session, and they're going to be able to put as much stress and load in those muscle fibers and actually get an education out of doing it at the same time.
If you're interested in setting up a personal training appointment or taking one of their many classes like boot camp, you can visit www.topgunff.com. Coyotes can now be hunted year-round in Michigan after the State Natural Resources Commission approval. If you remember, about a year ago, a family's dog was attacked and killed by 2 coyotes in their backyard near Mound and 24 Mile Roads. The commission is now allowing nighttime hunting for the wild animals and expanding the ammunition hunters can use as well. It used to be closed from mid-April through mid-July and only allowed on private property if the animals were threatening. But because they've gotten so many complaints of coyotes causing problems, they've expanded the season. And this coyote was just seen in someone's backyard in the area of Kelly Road between 16 and 15 Mile in Clinton Township. People are getting a wake-up call about over-the-counter sleep aids that can lead to serious side effects. A new survey by Consumers Reports found 18% of people who take sleep aids do so on a daily basis, and 41% said they'd taken them for a year or longer. But that's where doctors say the problem is. They say sleep aids should only be used for occasional sleeplessness because the ingredients could cause liver and kidney damage and ulcers. It's okay to take them up to 2 weeks, but not for much longer. Still ahead on Shelby this week, 2 teams went head-to-head for the MAC White Division title in girls basketball. We'll tell you who won next. And we'll also tell you about a fundraiser in Michigan that raised more than $60,000 for a good cause. Stay tuned.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing and spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
Laura says we should start worrying about drinking at these things.
You're only 12.
I know. I'm just glad you know better, sweetheart.
You're too smart for that, right, honey?
Real kids are curious about alcohol. 40% tried by the 8th grade. Talk early, talk often, get others involved.
In sports, the Eisenhower girls basketball team went up against Ford in the MAC White Division title game. Our Andrew Shelsky has the victors all in this week's Sports Highlights.
A matchup between number 1 and number 2 in the MAC White. Eisenhower taking on Ford. If Ford takes this one, they'll clinch the MAC White title. Leading the scoring for the Ford Falcons was Nikki Sorgi with 12. Just behind her, Megan Vervecki with 11, and Julia Ciafera with 10. On the other side of the ball, Eisenhower's Malin Kosnick led the Eagles with 11. And both Lauren DeBow and Alexis Smith pitched in with 10 apiece. Amazing pass, Emily Karras. Over her head to Julia Ciafera. Lauren DeBow driving and filling it up. Some nice passing here for the Eisenhower Eagles. Finally ending up in the hands of Malin Kosnick. Carly Schwartz knocking down those 2 points to bring us into the half. Ford leading 25-15. Into the second half, Paige Montreal for the Eisenhower Eagles. Julia Ciafera from three-land, no. But Emily Karras is there to clean up the boards. Lauren DeBow with 2 more. Megan Vervecki. 3 points from downtown. Alexis Smith off the glass and in. And 1. Julia Ciafera driving. Nice pass over to Emily Karras for 2 points. Then Paige Montreal lining it up from three-land. Then number 30, Malin Kosnick with another 3 points. Ford takes this one and clinches the MAC Division White title with their 14th consecutive victory. Final score, Ford Falcons 48, Eisenhower Eagles 40.
Just when we saw some sun, the groundhog predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Groundhog Day celebrations happened all over the country, but the largest one continues to be in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, with Punxsutawney Phil.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Handlers get Punxsutawney Phil out. Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil.
Groundhog Day was widely adopted in the U.S. in 1887 when the animal was promoted in the Punxsutawney newspaper as the Groundhog Day meteorologist. And in 1993, it became part of pop culture when the movie titled Groundhog Day came out.
And he encircled his prediction scroll, which reads, "It's mighty cold weather you've been braving. Is it winter or is it summer you're craving? Since we've been up all night and starting to toddle, I, Punxsy Phil, shall not dawdle. My faithful followers, I clearly see a perfect, clear shadow of me. 6 more weeks of winter, it shall be."
According to folklore, if it's cloudy when he emerges from his burrow, spring will arrive early. If the groundhog sees its shadow, winter will go on for 6 more weeks. And you heard right, I guess we'll be seeing more winter weather. Our Shelby TV production truck and crew were honored to be a part of the Port Huron's March of Dimes Jail and Bail fundraiser this past weekend, a tradition that's lasted 61 years.
Here we got winners, we got losers. We'll change.
Unfortunately, this fundraiser, which was started back in 1956, is ending. Created by a DJ, Lee Van Dam, his concept is volunteer prisoners stay in jail until they can raise their bail money set by a judge. Now, that concept is widely mimicked across the country, but because Port Huron has done it for so long, they were seeing a decline in participation. So an events committee has decided to end tradition and create a new event next year for March of Dimes, which is a nonprofit organization that works to improve the health of mothers and newborn babies. This year, it brought in more than $60,000, going out on a very high note. And that's it for us here at Shelby this week. You can watch us all the time on shelbytv.org. And for updates on everything you heard about today, head to our Shelby TV Facebook page. We'll leave you now with more art from the Scholastic Awards. Thanks for watching.